Do you think it means to be a freedom fighter?
That's a good question, and I think that every one of us who grows up in the United States of America has the seed in them of being a freedom fighter, in the sense that we do believe, most of us, in democracy and in freedom, and we work to make these things happen. So being an American, in a sense, we've always been kind of an independent people. We've always made our own decisions about things. We do things our way. It's not always the best way, but it's our way in the world. So I think it means starting with that seed of being, you know, an American raised in this society, but then when you find things that need fixing, to be a freedom fighter, you actually go out and try to fix them. You do something about them, whether it's a social problem like social justice. If you see people getting the short end of the stick, you know, it means somebody going in to defend them. You know, if you see somebody who needs your help, it means going out to help them. In another instance, one of the things I discovered was that with these meth houses that we used to have in Oregon, the kids in those houses would have, they'd have to be rescued from those houses because they were breathing poisonous fumes. So, you know, being a freedom fighter is telling the public why they need to care about this. These little kids are losing everything. So we organized a campaign so that they'd get you know, backpacks full of school supplies and teddy bears and things like that to help them as they had to leave these home situations that were so disastrous for them. It means stepping up. It means when you see something that needs fixing, help organize something to fix it. Don't just accept it as this is the way things are. If you see something that needs to be done, figure out a way to do it. Figure out a way to organize a team. It may only be in your block. I'll give you an example. T-Mobile, and I'll name them, snuck into our neighborhood. Now the city of Portland has a regulation about where you place cell towers, you know, cell phone towers. We all know we need them because we have cell phones. But they want them to go into high priority areas first, such as business districts. They want them to go into neighborhoods and schools last. That's their last on their priorities, okay? Because it deteriorates from the quality of life in the neighborhood. It also lowers property values. Well, T-Mobile, literally in the dark of night, tried to sneak a huge cell tower on our corner, and they didn't tell anybody about it, which was a violation of their deal with the city. They negotiated with one property owner. Well, once the neighbors got a wind of what was happening, we organized. We first organized in our block, then we organized in our neighborhood association, then we organized with the neighborhood association right next to ours, and then we brought in neighborhood associations from all across the city, and we focused a light on this T-Mobile thing and said to them, you answer the question before you build this here in our neighborhood, which is the lowest priority where you're supposed to build a cell tower. You answer to us to our satisfaction first why you didn't put them in some other area that's a higher priority. We went to City Hall, we organized testimony where I and my neighbors testified before the Portland City Council. We got newspaper coverage, we got radio coverage, we got television coverage, we had community meetings. So this whole thing that started right on our corner rippled out all the way across the city. And the latest that we have is they've put on hold indefinitely building this cell tower. Now the problem with cell towers in the neighborhood is that there's still some science that says that they might be harmful to small children or children who have disease, you know, who can't take that microwave stuff. And so even though the U.S. has said, well, we don't believe that, Europe has decided that they're not going to build them in neighborhoods. So we're saying we're going to do like Europe until we figure out what the real effects are. We want you to stop building them in neighborhoods. That's what it means to be a freedom fighter. It means to stand up for your rights and organize. And we did.